Hi guys, today I want to share with you some of the cultural shocks I received when I came to Austria. So if you grew up in Western countries, these might not come to you as a shock, but for us Africans, these, even after living in Austria for over a decade, some of these cultures I still can't understand it. Like I still can't take it in. So let's go into number one, which is FKK. FKK is simply an abbreviation in German, which is FKK, and full meaning of it is Freikörperkultur. So what happens here is that these people just walk naked. Like they have beaches, and it's legal, so you can't do anything about it. So they have the beaches where it's officially for naked people, and if you go there with your clothes on, you get these stares, and some people will even tell you to remove your clothes. So this FKK, I still can't understand it. The best part of this is there was once an FKK parade in Vienna where they were cycling. So can you imagine? And it was in summer. In midsummer, it's freaking hot, and then they are cycling, all of them naked, men and women, inside the town. Like everybody is watching them. They're parading inside the town naked. Kids, everybody was watching this. So I still can't understand this. No, I don't understand this. The kind of a relationship these white people have with their pets, whether male or female. You guys, it's crazy. Okay, I still can't understand how you can kiss your dog or let your dog like lick your face, and they even let the dogs lick like babies, like a day or two old baby. I still don't understand this. I mean, if you find it okay, everybody should do whatever they want to, but I just don't think that this is right. It's a shock to me. Yeah. And the worst part is even they let the dogs sleep on their beds. Like if it's a single person, so the bed is large, male or female, they sleep on one side, and then the dog or even the cat, whatever, sleeps on the other side. I'm like, there's another thing that I still can't understand. Like, how can you leave your pet sleep on your bed? I mean, that's crazy. To these white people, it's not crazy, but I still don't understand it. And then they get surprised when they get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and now they have to take the dog out of the bed. So the dog gets their mat or whatever on the floor, and then of course the dog is gonna get jealous, and then they start asking like, why is the dog jealous? I mean, it's also a being and has feelings. If they were having their place in the bed, and then all of a sudden somebody else come and take this place, of course they're gonna get chillers. And while we are still in the pets, I don't understand why somebody could have a pet, mostly a dog, and they are working 8 hours a day, and the dog is like inside. Mostly when they live in the town, the dog will stay like inside for the 8 hours while you are at work. And in Africa, we let our dogs, they stay outside the whole day. So that, and then the dogs in Africa, they do their business outside. Like if they want to shit, if you own a dog, you'll never know when or where your dog is gonna shit. But here, when they come back from work, they take their dogs for a walk, so dog walking, and they have to pick up this shit. And it gives these free polythene bags where you can pick up your dog shit with, and if you don't pick it up and somebody sees you, you can pay some fine. So I think that's funny. Church tax. And no, I'm not talking about the tithe you pay when you go to the church. That there is, but there is a church tax. If you are a Catholic in Austria, there is a tax you have to pay, and they will force you, they almost force you to pay. So if you are Catholic, and because there is registration when you come to Austria, if who comes to Austria and stays for longer than 3 days, if you're not staying in a hotel, you have to register yourself. So when registering, what I did is I take that I'm Catholic, and that was a mistake because okay, this is a story for another day, because they always sent me letters to pay for this tax, and I didn't pay, it didn't bother me. So like year came, year went, and then one day they just wrote me a letter that they're gonna take me to court. So that's when I took it serious. Anyway, it's a story for another day, but just so that you know, there is a tax charge. And while we are still in church, another thing that happens not only in Austria but in Europe, there is these, like, churches are tourist attractions. So even some churches, if you want to go inside, you have to pay. If you just want to see a church, you have to pay for it, and it's not little money. Okay, for me it's not little money, because as an African, I don't understand why I need to pay to get inside the church just to see the church from the inside. Anyway, okay, this is not a culture, but it still shocked me when I came. So when I came to Austria, sorry. So I came in August, in summer. And the day it's bright till very late, like sometimes even at 10 o'clock, you still see like it's brighter than in Kenya. So like now, right now, it's past 8 in the evening. It's 8:30, and as you guys can see, it's still very bright outside. So when I came here, I was like, okay, what's happening? I couldn't even sleep well because I think I didn't have the rhythm. So because I'm very sensitive to light, and it would be for a very long time bright, and if it's bright at 10 o'clock, moment I really do like it, and I enjoy it so much because I don't like the night, I don't like darkness. So I do enjoy it. Like right now I'm just in some park here. Let me show you around. If you ever visit Salzburg, you have to come to Hellbrunn. It's very, very nice. And mostly in winter they have a Christmas market here. They always have these lights, and it's very nice. You just have to visit. And the number of people who are smoking, you guys, this is crazy. So many people are smoking, and everywhere you go in towns, every corner you go, you are going to find these automats to buy a cigarette. And sometimes you even find these little kids, maybe around 9 or 10 years old, and they ask you if you have a cigarette. I'm like, where did these children learn to smoke? It's crazy. It's crazy. I tell you, it's crazy. And in Africa or in Kenya, mostly you find that women, or you find like a really small percentage of women who smoke. But here, they just do it, like they smoke. Another thing that was a shock to me, came to get used to it, is that they remove their jackets by the law, and the shoes. So you don't get inside the house with your shoes or your jacket. And if you feel cold, you can always ask for some warm socks or some shoes, house shoes, and a blanket. I think that's cool, because at least it keeps the house clean. So you don't need to do everyday cleaning like we do it in Kenya. The house needs to be clean every day. I think that's cool, and I have adopted it. The next one is that shops are closed on Sunday. I'm not talking about clothes stores. I mean, even the supermarkets, they do close on Sunday. Not only on Sunday, but from Saturday at 6 o'clock, if you didn't go shopping, then that's your problem. So I mean, in Kenya you can shop sometimes even for 24 hours. Like the shops are open the whole time. The next one is begging. Yes, you heard that right. You know, many Africans have this mentality that a white person has money. Like if they see you in Africa, if you're white, they see you walking, they think that that's a walking wallet. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get my point. So there are beggars here. Yes, there are beggars. And that shocked me because I thought that every white person is rich or has money or enough money, but that's not the truth. There are people who are, there's poverty. It's not extensive like in Africa, but there is poverty. I've seen poverty in Austria. So, yes, there is poverty. In fact, there are some places where if you don't have food, you can go to a food or shelter. You can go there and they will help you. Like they'll give you food, and for the shelter, you can't stay there, but maybe for a night or two. So, yeah, there is poverty in Austria. The kind of ungratefulness and the grumpiness in this country needs prayer. People are so grumpy, mostly when you get inside. Okay, let me talk about Vienna. Vienna is, the people there are so grumpy and so rude. And most of the time you find that people who don't appreciate, they don't appreciate what they have in Austria. And this is, I think, because they haven't traveled the world to see what's outside Vienna or what's outside Austria. They were born in Austria, they lived there, they studied there, and that's home. It's okay. But if you don't step outside your world, you'll never know what's outside. So I think that most people, they are so grumpy, so rude, and they don't appreciate what they have. Although they have good lives here, they don't even know that. They don't know that. They'll just keep complaining about everything. Complaining about this is not good, this is not good. Although they have no idea how some countries are. So that still shocks me because people will always complain. People will always complain. I mean, everybody complains, but the kind of complaining that's happening in this country is just crazy. The next one I think is a good one. The cars will actually stop for you on a zebra crossing. How good is this? Try this in Kenya. When the traffic light is red for the cars, they will just drive like they don't see you. They will drive. But here, it's actually a law, like a traffic rule. So when it's a zebra crossing and there's no traffic lights there, the cars will stop for you. I think it's generally good for the security. And you find that sometimes when it's a street where kids are passing a lot, like in front of a school, during peak hours, like in the morning or midday when the kids are leaving school, there's always somebody there who stops the cars. They do this, they're paid for this. They stop the cars so the kids can cross the road safely. I think that's a very good one. Yeah. Another one is that people don't want to give birth, both men and women. Although even the government there's this help from the government. Like if you have a kid, there's some amount of money you receive every month for this kid. People don't want to give birth. They don't want kids. And mostly you'll find families, they have one kid and that's it. 2 kids and that's it. And there's a huge number of people who just decide not to have kids. And I think that's okay because sometimes I see some parents, the way they deal with their kids, you just wonder why they had a kid in the first place. Yeah. Gayism is embraced here. Unlike our African countries, Gayism, it's accepted. It's been accepted. And what I get to hear from some elder people is that at the beginning it wasn't as easy as it seems to be now. Just the same way that our African countries, they don't accept it, and some people have even died due to this. They had to like fight for these rights for them to be accepted like this. And even on some streets, on the traffic lights, you realize that they are okay. There's this sign for a person crossing, so they have two people crossing. Sometimes you'll find that the signs are for a man and a man, and there's this love sign up there, or maybe a woman and a woman. And there are even days when they are celebrated. I even think it's somewhere in May or June. So it's a gays day. In towns, you'll even find gay bars or gay meetings where they just meet, they talk, they exchange, they do whatever they want to do, and nobody even bothers about them. They're just accepted in the community the way they are. And honestly speaking, I think that it's okay because I've heard of numerous times where a family is breaking up because a mom was or is gay or even dad, and they come to realize this later and then break up and then the kids suffer. So in my opinion, I think everybody should just do whatever they want to do and live in peace. This country is so clean, even the big cities like Vienna. So what I came to learn is that the way their waste separation works is just superb, because they separate waste like in towns, not maybe not so strict like in the villages. So you find that in the villages they separate plastics from papers, from organic waste, from other waste, even the metals and the glasses. So they separate like strictly everything. Apart. So you find that Austria is one of the countries where they recycle most of their waste products. You find that like nine over 90% of the people, like they really do follow the rules of separating. And even on the streets you'll find the bins with different colors, and everywhere it's written in German and in English what waste should go inside there. So they take waste separation seriously and recycling, and I think that helps to keep the cities and the country in general clean. They have a good healthcare system and a very good social system. So you find that if you are working in Austria, you'll automatically be insured, and that includes pension insurance, health insurance. So if you want to go to a doctor, you don't most of the time you don't have to pay anything because you are totally covered. And even when you fall sick or if you lose your job for some time, you are covered. And the health system is very good. As I'm working in the healthcare system, I see a lot, and it's very very good. Yeah, it is. This country has one of the best transport systems in the world, and Vienna has one of the best connections in the world. So you find that when you're traveling, even if you are going far away, it takes you not so long as it would. The roads are very nice. Some if you are going on the highway, you have to pay extra for this. It's called vignette, okay, because the roads are really really good. And even if you're traveling with the public transport system like the trains are fast and efficient and almost always on time. You find that if you book early, you get to travel cheap, and I think that's very good.